Please allow me to introduce the new Consulate General from the United States of America to Chiang Mai, Lisa Bugelis.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, tell me, have you been here for 8 months, or no, since August, I believe?
Yeah, so I've been here now about 7.5 months, and it's been absolutely amazing. My son and I are thrilled to be back in Thailand. You know, we lived here in Bangkok from 2009 to 2011, and I absolutely love this country, so very happy to be back. Well, professionally, I can answer this kind of in two parts, professionally and personally. Professionally, you know, the United States, we're cooperating with Thailand in so many different areas. You might have heard that this year we're celebrating the 190th anniversary of U.S.-Thai diplomatic relations. So Thailand is America's oldest partner in the entire Asia Pacific. And so it's wonderful for us to celebrate the ties that we have had over the last 190 years since we signed the Treaty of Amity and Commerce in 1833. And the United States and Thailand cooperate in many different areas on health cooperation. We're Thailand's largest export market for Thai goods. We actually just grew our trade relationship by close to 25% just last year to $75 billion in two-way trade. And we're expecting that to continue to grow in the coming years. Thailand is one of our non-NATO treaty allies, and we're very proud of that. And we do a lot of training together in disaster risk reduction and in many different areas with the Thai military. And so I mentioned health and agricultural technology. We're doing so many different things in education and education exchange, just like with the Fulbright program here. So we're celebrating the entire relationship, the entire year of 2023, and each month we have a different theme that we're celebrating in a different area of cooperation. So my goals for my 3 years in Thailand are to show the breadth and the depth of the U.S.-Thai partnership to people in northern Thailand, and also to grow that partnership in the years to come.
And on a personal side, you mentioned?
And a personal side, I mentioned I'm just happy to be back here. I absolutely love Thai food. I love Thai people. I love the climate and getting out and to meeting more people across northern Thailand. As I mentioned, that I used to live in Bangkok, and so I had an opportunity to travel throughout Thailand then, but not as much to the north. So I hadn't been up here as much. And I'm just very excited that now in this job that I've been traveling to all the different provinces that I cover in my consular district. And so it's just been absolutely wonderful. Sure, one thing that has struck me since arriving is that there were a number of businesses that have shuttered throughout northern Thailand due to the pandemic and being closed for 2.5 years. I know that 18% of Thailand's GDP is due to tourism. I imagine it's probably even higher up in the north, where you don't have as much manufacturing because you don't have the transportation and waterways and infrastructure you do in central and south. So it's been quite eye-opening that there's been so many businesses that have closed down. And so this has been one of my priorities, and one of the US government's priorities is to help the economic development of Thailand, and specifically of northern Thailand for me personally. There are many ways that we're doing this, that we're helping Thailand recover from COVID. Not only did we donate millions of COVID vaccines to Thailand during the pandemic, but outside of the health cooperation that we're doing on the economic side, we have something called the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. This is an agreement that President Biden announced in May 2022, and he launched it with 13 other countries, and Thailand is one of them. And so within this economic framework, and there are negotiations ongoing for the 4 pillars of clean economy, fair economy, supply chain, and trade. We also have a number of US companies, there are 14 companies that are participating as a part of a public-private partnership. And the great thing about this is that with us in the north, these companies have committed to train over 500,000 people in 8 countries, including Thailand, in the next 10 years on upskilling in science and technology. So for instance, just a few months ago, I participated in Amazon's first ever event in northern Thailand, where they trained more than 400 people in person and 5,000 online on how to upskill local artisans selling Lampang ceramics, selling Thai silks and handicrafts to get it onto Amazon's platforms to sell to the United States and Europe and other places. So this is just an example. We are working with Google, there's IBM, there's Dell. There are a number of companies that are now looking at not only helping people around Thailand, but specifically helping upskill people in northern Thailand to be able to develop entrepreneurship activities. Yeah, so I mentioned that Amazon is looking to invest in northern Thailand in a big way. As you know, that a number of most of the people who sell on Amazon, which is one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world, are small and medium-sized businesses, and specifically entrepreneurs. And so they're looking at more entrepreneurs and helping entrepreneurs in Thailand get their products onto Amazon's platforms to help them export to the entire world, to grow a market for them. So that's one example. Google has something called a Google certificate, where they're training 22,000 people, I know just in this first cohort this year, to upskill their skills. For instance, training women entrepreneurs learning how to code, so that especially women entrepreneurs and just women in northern Thailand can then get good paying jobs at companies throughout the country. I will say that I was surprised that we don't have more American investment in northern Thailand, and that's something that I'd like to personally work to change. And so I mentioned that we're working. I think a lot of them are headquartered in Bangkok, but there are American businesses up here. So in addition to trying to work with these companies I just mentioned through the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, there are companies that have been working up in northern Thailand for decades. For instance, just a few weeks ago, I went to one of PepsiCo's potato contract farms. So PepsiCo, as you know, produces Lay's potato chips. And so they have a huge factory in Lamphun, and they are the largest US investor in northern Thailand. They invest over $1 billion in northern Thailand alone. So they're training more than 4,000 Thai contract potato farmers to grow potatoes for their potato chips. And the great thing is that just like other American companies, PepsiCo utilizes smart technology and trains people in the best types of technology and best high labor standards that we're very proud of as Americans that we have here. So for instance, their potato farms have drip irrigation. So the idea is that the water goes into the soil directly with the fertilizer, so you have less evaporation, so you also conserve more water. They use drone technology. They also use solar cells, so you're not using diesel and it's not causing any pollution. One thing I thought that was very interesting is that not only through these measures does PepsiCo actually increase the yields of these crops, which means that the profits, that the farmers get more profit, but because potato is they only have one crop harvest a year, these farmers then also plant corn and rice. And they train them not to burn the corn and rice husks. So they actually train them how to compost and cut up the corn and rice husks to plant back into the land as for fertilizer. And so for all of these, and they cover right now about 30,000 rai that PepsiCo contracts out. So there is no burning on any of PepsiCo's farms. And what's even greater is that they're looking to double production in the next 5 years.
Wow.
And they told me that 15% of their production now goes to exports across to Asia, and they're looking to grow that market. So not only selling within Thailand, but also helping Thailand export to other countries. So I'm very excited about that. It's difficult to escape the low air quality, the poor air quality here. So this is something that obviously, as you just mentioned, the United States and Thailand have been working on for a number of years, including my predecessors. You may have already heard that we work with NARIT, the National Astronomical Research Institute of Thailand, to give geospatial technology to detect hotspots, burning hotspots across Thailand. We also have been able to see hotspots in neighboring countries as well. So a lot of that is going to research. We're working also with Chiang Mai University to do research on air quality. We have a State Department Air Quality Fellow that is designated just for Thailand, which is great because he was out here last fall and he came out here again just a few weeks ago to continue meetings with stakeholders here, with local governments, with NGOs, with the local breath councils, with public-private partnerships, and with us and people within the mission of Thailand, so including from our embassy in Bangkok. And we had these conversations realizing that it's a really complex issue. There are many factors, many things that contribute to the low air quality during this time of year. And so making sure that everyone gets on the same page, also understanding that it is going to be, there needs to be a comprehensive solution. So it's not just one area or one government official that's going to be able to solve it. It's coordination across the board. We also, I'm sure you know, have something called the Clean Air Act in the United States, and we've had it since the 1970s, that actually regulates the amount of pollution industries can produce, among other things. And I know that Thailand actually has some legislation that they're looking at now for something similar that's actually based off of the US Clean Air Act. And there are a number of drafts right now. So these conversations are helping to inform the research and the policy making behind it. So hopefully, you know, we'll all get there together. Fentanyl, we still are seeing precursor chemicals come across the Thai border. Yes, so we actually do have a Drug Enforcement Administration office here. I think you probably are well aware. They've been here since 1973, working hand in hand with Thai counterparts in the Royal Thai Police. And they have been working, you know, tirelessly, especially since there's been so much conflict going on in Burma that is pushing even more meth and more heroin across the border. So, as I mentioned, our Drug Enforcement Administration is working with our local partners here to make sure that drugs don't come across the border, that they're not getting into the hands of young children in Thailand, and that we both protect the people of Thailand, but also people back home. So we're building a new consulate compound. We're building a new consulate building. It's going to be a diplomatic space, a boring office building maybe. No. But yes, we are still building it, and we're very happy that we're on track right now to be able to open it next summer in 2024. So we're about half complete right now. Well, as you can imagine, with U.S. government, we have to plan for many years in advance. Yes. So this has been on the docket for a number of years. As I just mentioned, we have so many different areas of cooperation with the Thai government. As you know, that the U.S. Consulate General in Chiang Mai is the oldest and largest consulate in northern Thailand. And so we've been doing so much work, and there is so much more work to be done. We mentioned, you know, working on air quality research with all the economic development opportunities that we're helping to bring about here. Also, as you mentioned already, with the drugs, with the healthcare cooperation, we actually have an office, a CDC office in Kamphaeng Phet that works side by side, hand in hand with Thai Ministry of Health officials to develop vaccines. You may have heard, actually, when I was posted in Bangkok before, it was through the Armed Forces Research and Information Medical Sciences Office with the Ministry of Health and Public Health. They had developed the first vaccine to prevent the spread of HIV/AIDS in 2010 in their office in Bangkok.
Really?
Yes, and now it's used worldwide. And so that was developed in Thailand. We also have been developing vaccines to prevent the spread of malaria. We're developing COVID vaccines here as well. We're developing a number of vaccines with the United States government and the Thai government. And so our health cooperation, I think a lot of people don't know how large it is and how extensive it is. And it's not just helping the people of the United States and Thailand, it's helping the region and the world, and all that is happening right here. So just to give you a flavor of the things that we work on, and I haven't talked about a lot of other things that we're working on, a lot of the development assistance, a lot of the disaster risk reduction I mentioned, that at least our military is working on, but we also have a large USAID office here in Thailand as well. For instance, you know, Cobra Gold, as an example. We had about 6,000 military personnel come here for Cobra Gold over a span of about 3 weeks. And they work hand in glove with Thai military, but also Thailand is a regional leader in all these areas. And so they've been hosting Cobra Gold since the 1970s. And so we have people come in from, you know, a number of other countries, and we work together on how to react if an earthquake and another tsunami hits, something like this. So they work together on all these kind of disaster risk mitigation issues. So just to say that you've seen our consulate, this was never meant to be, it's a beautiful beautiful historic location. We've been here since 1950, so it's been 73 years, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm very honored and very happy that I get to call this beautiful building my home. That used to be occupied. It used to be the last prince of Chiang Mai's former residence. But this was a home. This was never meant to be an office building. And so we're moving to a proper office building that is going to be LEED Silver certified, which means it's environmentally sound and environmentally safe, that it's ADA compliant, which means that it comports to the Americans with Disabilities Act. So it's going to have wheelchair access, it's going to have Braille in the elevators, these types of things. So it's, and the great thing I think about that is that not only is it a platform for us to be able to do our work in a safe and clean environment, but we're also training hundreds of Thai construction workers on the latest technologies in construction. So we have right now over 500 construction workers working on site every day. And 90% of them are Thai and half of them are women. So the idea then that we're giving all of these people this high level training, that means that after they're finished constructing our site, they can go off and construct other buildings and other projects within Chiang Mai, northern Thailand, to the same level of standard. So hopefully, we're hoping that this training that we've been giving them with these high labor standards ends up helping out the Chiang Mai economy as well. We're not adding any additional offices. We will add a couple of extra staff here and there to be able to take care of this new, like I mentioned, ADA compliant and LEED Silver certified building. It is going to take a couple of extra people on the management side for IT systems and that kind of thing, but we're not adding any offices. I'm glad that you asked about this. So, you know, our consular section provides world-class services, and we've been very proud that we've been able to keep our wait times low, comparatively speaking, to other consular sections around the world, especially during COVID. COVID, as it wreaked havoc on a number of people's lives, it also was very difficult for us in maintaining our operations and making sure that we were able to do everything that we needed to do. Visa services have increased 50%, and American citizen services have increased 50% over 2019 levels, over pre-pandemic levels, 50% above pre-pandemic levels.
Is it just more demand? Or
it's more demand.
Oh, right.
It's more demand.
To go visit America, go work?
So, all the above. So the great thing is that this new building that we're moving into is going to have a proper indoor waiting room. So our waiting room right now is outdoors, and so during rainy season, I imagine, even though it's covered, it's probably a bit steamy. So we'll have an indoor waiting room. We're going to have 7 interviewing windows, so much more space than we currently have. So we're looking forward to moving into this space that is going to be much more comfortable, breathable for our clients, right? So I understand that Americans make up the largest percentage of digital nomads in Chiang Mai, which is great. And I know that especially during COVID, when people were kind of hunkering down, and one good thing that came out of COVID was that the whole world realized that there were a lot of jobs that you could do remotely. And so digital nomads was kind of one of them. And so you have a number of Americans who worked at large corporations, science and technology corporations in the United States or elsewhere, then came and brought their skills here. So I think that actually is a big boost for the Thai economy, and specifically for Chiang Mai, not just hotels and co-working spaces and coffee shops, but also the kinds of skills that they bring, and then possibly as they grow their own businesses, hiring more people and training more people as well. I do know that the Thai Immigration Department has just recently released details about a digital nomad visa, trying to attract more digital nomads. We should hear more about it in the coming months. You know, when Thailand lifted all of its COVID restrictions late last year, we had seen a dip in the number of Americans, just as a number of other foreigners in Thailand, but we've actually seen them start coming back. So pre-pandemic, we had about 17,000 Americans living in northern Thailand. It dipped to maybe about 8,000 during the pandemic. We just got numbers in the last week that they've rebounded at least to 15,000 so far. But on any given year, we have about 175,000 Americans either living in or visiting northern Thailand, just northern Thailand annually. And so we have seen these numbers rebounding. We expect them to continue to rebound. Very excited about Songkran coming back.
Yeah, a lot of injuries to go get, I'm sure.
So we're looking forward to being able to celebrate this. As far as the Consulate General and what we're doing to help promote tourism here, you may have been a part of the Loikatong Festival that happened here just last November. So the U.S. Consulate General has a float every year. And this past year, we had a float that was specifically celebrating festivals between Chiang Mai and the United States. And so we've been doing these types of things and promoting and putting it on our social media to promote Thailand as a festival destination. And so we have a number of things coming up, as well as I mentioned, during the 190th anniversary celebration this year to promote tourism. How's it going? I absolutely love living in Chiang Mai. I could not have asked for a more beautiful home. My son is enjoying his school. He's made a lot of friends. We travel on the weekends. We go to see different things. We've been to the zoo. I like to run. I've run throughout the city. As I mentioned, that I've traveled a decent amount. I mean, even outside of work, I actually went to Pitsanulok with just my family a couple of months ago. We got to see the pink rice fields. We got to go to Wat Yai. I've been to Wat Yai now to see the most beautiful Buddha image now a couple of times. We've been to Maehan Song. So I love to travel. I love to go out and experience different things. Both Noah and I absolutely love cooking Thai food and eating Thai food. We also love elephants. So we've gone to the Elephant Nature Park here a couple of times already. Don't ride the elephants. We go feed the elephants and bathe the elephants, which is lovely. We're very much into preserving and the environment. So also going into the nature parks and going hiking and just learning more about the beautiful areas around Chiang Mai. So it's been wonderful, and there's still so much more to see. Well, I mentioned that economic development is a big priority for me. And so all of the work that we do on women's economic empowerment, we have a number of grants, we have a number of partners that we work with. I mentioned the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework companies, the partnership companies that we're working with. I'd like to see that grow, as that was just launched last year. And so we're kind of just getting started and doing a lot of things together. I would like to see even more of those American companies not only do kind of corporate social responsibility programs up here, but actually doing more investing, like Amazon is looking to invest. So I would like to see more American companies partner with more Thai companies, and also more Thai entrepreneurs be able to launch their own companies and really see the vibrancy of Northern Thailand kind of fully recover from COVID. That's what I'm hoping to see in the next couple of years.
Thank you so much. That was fascinating.
Thank you.